the omnipresent of the universe, now sits as Elder Paramasivam on Kandasamy Pillai's veranda. What follows? Will God silently observe humanity, or will their life challenge the Creator Himself? Let us enter part 2 of Pudumai Pithan's Kadavadum Kandasamy Pillayum story. I am Nilari. This is Blue Satchel Audios. In the courtyard of the house, a small tin lamp flickered, turning the space into something resembling the inner sanctum of a temple. Beyond it lay a long dark corridor, and beyond that, who knew? A child was there, about 4 years old. She was the kind of beauty that poured joy into the heart. In her eyes, there was always a sense of unexplainable happiness. As per the old customs and traditions, her hair was parted crosswise at the crown of the head and braided into a pigtail plait that curved upward. The banana fiber used as ribbon to tie the end of the braid had slipped from its duty and hung loose, dangling into her eyes and bothering her every time she bent down. In her hands were a piece of charcoal and a broken piece of roof tile. Around her waist was a frayed, tattered skirt reaching her knees. As she bent down to draw a line on the floor, the banana fiber ribbon fell into her eyes again. She stood up, grabbed the ribbon with both hands, and pulled with all her might. Her efforts failed. It hurt. She was debating whether to cry or to try pulling one more time. That's when her father walked in. Appa! She shrieked, clutching Kandasamy Pillai's legs. Looking up at him, she asked, "What did you bring for me?" "Well, I brought myself," said Kandasamy Pillai. "What, Appa? Every single day you just bring yourself. Couldn't you have at least brought some roasted chickpeas?" The child whimpered. "Roasted chickpeas aren't good for your health. Look here, I have brought you a grandpa for you," said Kandasamy Pillai. "Is this your child?" God asked. He could not take his eyes off her. Kandasamy Pillai hesitated for a moment. "Just say it. These days I am a pure vegetarian. I prefer food cooked in clay pots. I don't even take milk or curds anymore." God laughed. "Just for our wish, born very late in life, she is our tender curry leaf sprouted," said Kandasamy Pillai. "Please sit down. The tap water won't be running now. I will go inside and fetch some in a pot." And he disappeared into the darkness. God shook out his shoulder cloth and sat in the hall. He felt a restless flutter in his heart, yet a sense of infinite peace. "Come here, my little curry leaf sprout," God said, stretching out his arms towards the child. With a single leap, she climbed onto his lap. "My name is not Curry Leaf Sprout. It is Valli. Only Appa calls me Karupi, Karupi. Am I really that dark?" she asked. But she did not wait for an answer. Her eyes caught the mole on his cheek already. "What is this, Grandpa? It's so dark on your neck, like a black plum. I feel like taking a little bite," she said, her eyes fluttering. She climbed onto his lap and pressed her soft lips to his throat, her tiny teeth grazing his skin. A light shiver ran through God's whole body. "That tickles," God said, squirming a little. "Grandpa, what is this on your neck? Did you get it burned or by something?" "Look at mine," she said, raising her tiny finger to reveal a small dark bruise. Guess, little one, that is just a black plum. Once, when those fruits were being passed around, I took one and popped it into my mouth. At once, hands caught hold of my neck, demanding where is their share. And from that moment, it stayed right there. Never mind that. Don't you have any friends to play with? God asked her. I have got my piece of tile and charcoal ready. I can draw it out. Will you come play hopscotch with me? The child and God began to play. God folded one leg and took a hopping leap. Grandpa, you lost! The child laughed, clapping her hands. Why? God asked, puzzled. His foot had brushed against the charcoal line, apparently. You could have told me this earlier, he grumbled. Now, if you don't even know the rules, should you be playing? The child shot back, hands on her hips. Just then, Kandasamy Pillai came forward, followed by his wife, emerging from the dark with a water pot on her hip. This is Periyappa, elder uncle from Kailasapuram. You know, the girl from Karisalangulam was given in marriage to his first cousin's son. Don't you remember? Kandasamy Pillai questioned his wife. Oh, is this the uncle who went off wandering? Come in, uncle. Let me pay my respects, she said, setting the pot down and prostrated before him. Her heavy, old-fashioned earrings bumped against her cheeks. God blessed her. May you live with tenfold prosperity and happiness, he said. Kantimati Ammal, that was her name, felt a sense of fulfillment she had never experienced. Her heart cooled and her eyes grew moist. God reminded him, You left a sack of rice at the doorstep? Oh, he forgets beyond words. Just now I asked him, Did you get the rice? And he said no to me. He gives medicines to the whole town, but there is no cure for his own forgetfulness. The Creator himself has to stand by and watch, said Gantimati Amar. He is watching everything, isn't he? God said in a villager's tone. Oh, not just watch. He should laugh at him too. Only then some sense will come to him, she replied in response. God laughed. Together, God and Kandasamy Pillai walked out to the front door to pick up the sack of rice. I told you, none of these magic tricks, Pillai whispered in his ear. No more, I promise, said God. Kandasamy Pillai grunted and strained to lift the rice sack. It wouldn't budge. What a sturdy young man you are, God laughed mockingly, tucking the heavy sack under his arm with ease. Oh no, you shouldn't be the one carrying it. Hey, you there, help him, hold on side. Why are you just standing and watching? Gantimati fussed at her husband. Don't worry, my child. Tell me, where do you want this? God asked. Just let it stay here in the hall, she said, stepping in to stop him from carrying the weight any further. It was 11 o'clock at night by the time Kandasamy Pillai and God had finished their meal and came out to the front porch. What is the plan now? God asked Kandasamy. To sleep, of course, Pillai said. Letting out a yawn. Grandpa, I'm going to sleep right next to you, the little one cried, running towards them. Go and call your mother and tell her to bring out the mats and pillows, Kandasamy Pillai told her. Are you telling me to sleep too? God asked. If you mingle with humans, you must act like them. If you don't feel like sleeping, then just lie there quietly. Wandering about at night will only invite rumors, said Kandasamy Pillai. God must now try his luck among ordinary people, finding work. We will see that in the final episode. To be continued, I'm Nilari and this is Blue Satchel Audios.